Come join us on Maui for the yearly Maui Gym Ocean Fest, June 4th and 5th at Ka'anapali Beach. Sign up now at MauiGymOceanFest.com.
Aloha everyone, I'm Malika Dudley and we're here with Ashley Baxter and we're talking about full circle moments. We're really talking about a special one today. Ashley Baxter, her father Keith Baxter, they saved some people out in the middle of the ocean more than a decade ago. Among them was Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, and now 15 years later these people are helping to save him. Can you start by telling us the story of in the middle of the channel 15 years ago? What happened?
So it was probably one of the gnarliest days I've ever been out on the ocean, and a huge storm, 10, 15-foot swells rolling through the channel, winds were blowing. Somehow in the midst of it all, I was enjoying myself like no other, and I was hanging off the side of the boat having waves crashing on me, and I heard voices. And I stopped and I went to my dad, who was in the little hub, and I said, I think I heard voices. And he told me right there in that moment, he shut off the engine. He said, keep your eyes out and keep your ears open. Keep listening and look if you see anything, because guaranteed there's somebody out there. He's been in situations where, I mean, in the middle of the ocean, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. You never know. So surprisingly enough, I heard the voices again and saw these paddles being waved in the air. And we came up to them, and it was a guy and two women floating in the middle of the ocean with 6 paddles in their hand, and the guy was in swimming trunks and the 2 girls were in a bikini, and no life jacket, no rash guard, no nothing. And at that point I think they had been swimming for right around 2 hours, and so we put them onto the boat. They told us they were on a 6-man sailing canoe. It had flipped over. For about 45 minutes they were swimming with the canoe flipped over, but the mast had broken. It flipped back over and 3 of the crew members were able to get back on, and the guy and the 2 women weren't able to get on in time, and the boat shot straight downwind. And they didn't have the paddles. Well, even if they did have paddles, there's no way they would have been able to get back up to the other 3 people. So once we picked up the 3 people in the water, we kept heading down the coast, and eventually we found the 6-man canoe with the 3 people on it, and we towed it all the way back up to Puko'o and dropped them off.
Wow, that's amazing. They must have been so thankful. I mean, yeah. That type of situation, do you think if you had not found them, what would have happened?
I truly believe they would have died. I mean, nobody was out there that day. Like, it was so gnarly, some guaranteed small craft advisory warning, and we didn't see any other boat out there, and we're on this 24, 25-foot fishing boat, and happen in the middle of the ocean to run into these people who were drifting to nowhere land.
Well, they definitely thought the same, because Eddie pulled you on stage once, and what did he do? What did he tell everyone?
He invited both my dad and I to come to one of his shows, and it just happened to be in his hometown in Seattle. Or he went out on stage and started telling a story, which was really beautiful, because nobody knew. It was just the story of these people who almost drowned and these 2 people who had saved him. And then at the end of the story, he was like, and the reason why I know this story so well is because I was one of those people that was saved. And I get crazy chicken skin thinking about it. But and then he was like, and one of the girl is actually here today, and I'd like to invite her on stage. And so I got to walk up on stage and give him a big hug.
but that's a full circle moment that, you know, you saved his life and you wanted to acknowledge you guys. Yeah. Now your dad is going through some health issues. Why don't you tell me really briefly what he's going through and what now they are doing to help him?
Okay. So about 10 months ago, my dad was in a really gnarly boating accident, and a rusty anchor went through his calf and out of his foot multiple times. It happened on Molokai. 2.5, 3 hours later, he finally got in for surgery. Found out that his bone ended up getting infected, has so many gnarly infections in there. He went for another surgery, has had a PICC line, permanent IV put in his arm that he's been administering antibiotics 2 to 3 times a day for the past 8 months. And we need to do these next stages. We need to figure out how do we get this infection out of there and gone, get the right proper medical care that we can afford. So it's been really interesting because I ran into Kaki, one of the ladies who we saved, randomly, and she was like, how's your dad? And I told her just everything that has been going on, and she was like, this is horrible. We need to do something. And she went home. She lives on the mainland. And a week later called us and said, I started a GoFundMe account. I talked to Michelle Wiley, who is the other lady who we saved, and Eddie Vedder, because those are the 3 people that were swimming in the water. And we want to come together to now save your dad's life. We are so thankful. We know that we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for what you guys had done for us 12, 13 years ago, or however long that was. So now we want to do whatever we can to give back to you to save your life. So it's been such an incredible journey to see something that happened 10, 12 years ago to be dramatically affecting my life right now, to save my dad, you know? And it's just pretty amazing, and I'm just so thankful for what everyone has done to be a part of this process.
So this is Keith Baxter, Ashley's dad. So do you have any message? I mean, it must feel amazing to see your daughter and all these people supporting you in this way.
Don't make me cry. Life is really beautiful, and a lot of things happen in our lives and the people that we connect with as we grow up, which is so important. So basically the infection's in the bone, which is very difficult to get out. And I'm either going to lose my leg, which I'd still make it anyways.
You'd be a real pirate.
Yeah, I'll be a real pirate. But I'd hate to do that. I surf and I'm very active, and I have family members that are very active in the ocean too. So all of us, you want to kind of keep doing that kind of stuff if it's possible. But I've had a lot of wonderful people help, and they started this thing, GoFund. I wasn't really going for it because I don't want to take anything from anybody. And I shouldn't say take. It's hard for me to accept. It's a lot easier to give than ask.
Do you have a message for everyone that's trying to help you?
Oh my gosh.
Summarize.
More than just thank you. All this has been a lesson for me, and it's been a real lesson for my family, and bringing our family closer together. And it's actually brought a lot of people closer together, and that's what we're all here for, to help and to give. And having kids, you want to practice that and teach them that as much as you can. That's how I was raised in Hawaii, and you learn how to take care. And life is so fast now. We got to slow down and try to look back at our roots and our family, which is the most important thing in life. That's what we got, and friends.
All right. Well, speaking of giving, if you'd like to help out, we'll put a link on our website. I'm Malika Dudley for MauiNow.com. Wahui ho.